Imagine this. You go to the bathroom to wash your face, but you don't see your reflection in the mirror, as if your entire body has vanished into thin air. That's exactly what happens to Michael. Michael is an ordinary boy living in Italy. One day, he was sitting in class right behind a girl named Stella, when suddenly, the local police inspector, Giovanna, Michael's mother, walked into the classroom. One of the boys in Michael's class had run away from home, so she was there to investigate. After his mother left, Michael's nose suddenly started bleeding, and he rushed to the bathroom, where some mischievous kids began bothering him. That evening, there was a party, and Michael took his saved-up money to buy a costume. But he had so little money that the only thing he could afford was a Chinese superhero outfit. He didn't really like it, but he bought it anyway. When he got home, his mom convinced him that he actually looked good and that he definitely should go to the party. At the party, Michael was having a great time, and he was even talking to the girl he liked, Sear. But then, those same mean boys started bothering him again, and to escape them, he ran and hid in the bathroom. Frustrated with everything, he shouted that he wished he could just disappear. Suddenly, the lights went out, and he climbed out the window and went home. The next morning, he woke up to the sound of a dog barking. When he went to brush his teeth, he saw that there was no reflection of himself in the mirror. His clothes were visible, but his body was completely gone. He quickly took all his clothes off. Just then, his mom arrived. But when she couldn't see him either, Michael realized that he had truly become invisible. No one but he himself could see his body anymore. He wrote on a piece of paper that he was going to school early that day and left the note beside his mother. After reading it, Giovanna called him, and the phone looked invisible too. Michael picked it up and said, "Yeah, Mom, everything's fine. I'm already at school. Don't worry." Then he wrapped himself from head to toe in clothes and went to school. Once there, he thought, why not use this new power to teach those boys who bullied him a lesson? He took off all his clothes and slipped into the school building. During class, he grabbed that boy's paintball gun and shot a ton of paintballs at the teacher. As a result, that boy ended up getting suspended. Then he went into the girls' changing room and started watching them change, which was completely wrong. Suddenly, one of the girls accidentally threw a towel right at him, and the towel stuck to the shape of his invisible body. To make things worse, at that exact moment, his power started fading, so he became visible again. Seeing a boy in their changing room, the girls screamed and ran in every direction. The next day in class, they learned that another boy from their class had run away from home. Suddenly, Michael's hands began slowly disappearing again. When the bell rang, he quickly left. Wrapped head to toe in clothes again, he returned home. In his room, his little sister Candle was sitting there. Michael turned toward the wall and told her to leave, but Candle pretended to walk out and then hid inside the room instead. Thinking she had left, Michael turned around. When she saw him, Candle screamed in terror. Michael calmed her down and explained that somehow that Chinese superhero costume had given him the power to become invisible. When Giovanna came home, Michael was still invisible. He overheard his mother talking on the phone, saying that Michael had actually been adopted, that many years ago, someone had left him in front of Giovanna's house. Michael had never known this, and heartbroken, he left home. He was sitting alone on a swing when Stella showed up. Michael thought she might be a ghost, but Stella, without hesitating for a second, sat down on the swing right next to him. She asked Michael to be her friend. In response, Michael drew a smiley face on the ground. They played together for a while, and then Stella left. Michael then noticed a man standing a little distance away, staring with wide, intense eyes. But later he realized the man was actually blind. That night, Stella came to Michael's house. She was thrilled that she now had an invisible friend. After a while, they even kissed. But suddenly, Michael's power began fading again. Before Stella could see his face, he ran away. Sometime later, Stella was practicing alone in the gymnastics hall when suddenly someone attacked her with a baton. Within moments, she collapsed unconscious. Meanwhile, at home, Michael decided he would finally tell Stella the whole truth. Taking his dog with him, he headed toward the gymnastics hall. There, he saw a masked man carrying Stella over his shoulder. Michael tried to stop him. Even his dog bit the man's hand, but still he managed to escape with Stella. Soon after, the police arrived and realized that the missing kids hadn't run away from home. They had been kidnapped. When Stella opened her eyes, she found herself in an empty room with several wires attached to her head. One of Michael's teachers turned out to be there as well. They ran some experiments on her, then locked her in another room with the other missing children. The next day, Michael was sitting alone by the sea when the blind man approached him. Before Michael could ask anything, the man began answering all of his unspoken questions, as if he could read Michael's mind. He introduced himself as Andre, and then said that he was actually Michael's real father. Michael didn't believe him. He shouted, "You're lying!" So Andre began explaining the entire story in detail. He said that he had been an ordinary boy from a village in Russia, but one day, due to a nuclear radiation leak, most of the people in his village died. Those who survived developed supernatural powers. After learning about this, the military decided to use these people as living weapons. They subjected them to all kinds of bizarre and terrifying experiments. Reports showed that apart from Andre and Michael's mother, no one else there was able to have children. When Michael was born, he became the first child born with these strange powers. To give him a chance at a normal future, Andre and Michael's mother escaped from the military camp with him. During their escape, Andre somehow managed to get Michael out alive, but his wife was killed. He knew Michael would never be safe with him, so he used his powers to read Giovanna's mind. He saw that she was truly a good woman who could raise a child with love. That's why he left Michael in front of Giovanna's house and went away. But now the military had learned that this special child was somewhere near the area. Still, Michael couldn't fully believe Andre. Then, Andre suddenly said they couldn't talk there anymore because a nearby guard had become suspicious and was about to call the police. Andre gave Michael a suit, one that would make him invisible along with his body. Then, Andre erased the guard's memory and disappeared without a trace. Meanwhile, the traitorous teacher, while talking to Giovanna, was told by her that she had actually adopted Michael. Hearing this, the teacher suspected that Michael might be the special child. To confirm the truth, he headed to Michael's house. During the conversation, Michael noticed bite marks on the teacher's hand from a dog and realized this was the man who had kidnapped Stella and all the other children. He quickly slipped into a room and became invisible, taking the opportunity to escape. While running, Michael saw that mischievous boy, Ivan, who had always bullied him. He sat behind Ivan and told him to ride the bike fast. When they reached a secluded spot, Michael told Ivan the whole truth. Meanwhile, Stella was thinking hard. If all the children stood on each other's shoulders, they could reach a way out of the room. Using her cleverness, they managed to get out and reach the rooftop. There, Stella found something truly important. She believed that her invisible friend would surely come looking for her. So she drew a smiley face in the light, just like the one Michael had drawn on the ground the first day they met. Seeing Stella's signal, Michael immediately knew where she was. He ran with Ivan to rescue her and the other friends, but just then, a guard grabbed Stella. Ivan shot at the electric circuit with his paintball gun, causing a short circuit. Michael, invisible, entered the building and saw his teacher and some thugs keeping an eye on Giovanna and Andre. They were all searching for Michael. Then Michael sprayed a fire extinguisher on a guard's head and aimed a gun at another. He freed all the kidnapped children and trapped the guards inside a room. Michael then stepped out in front of everyone. Seeing him, everyone was stunned. They all wanted to flee immediately, but Stella said they needed to save an elderly man who was locked in a nearby room. Michael agreed and went with her, but Stella led him straight to the people he had been running from. Suddenly, Stella collapsed unconscious, and an old man sitting behind her began speaking. In reality, he could control anyone's mind. He had been behind the entire ordeal, controlling everyone from Stella to Michael's teacher. The military captured Michael and Stella and locked them in a submarine, setting off toward their destination by sea. Meanwhile, Andrzej and Giovanna reached the location and met up with Ivan. The building was in self-destruct mode, and only a few seconds remained before it would explode. They quickly rescued the two kidnapped children and Michael's teacher, who was innocent, as his mind had also been under the control of that old man. Everyone managed to escape the building just before the explosion. Inside the submarine, Michael realized that his powers weren't limited to invisibility. He could also move objects with his mind. Using this ability, he started smashing things around the submarine. He defeated all the thugs and saved both Stella and himself. Then, using his powers, he steered the entire submarine back to the shore, where everyone had been waiting for them. Everyone was overjoyed to see him, and Michael demonstrated his powers by becoming invisible right in front of them. Andre approached him and explained that he couldn't display his powers openly in front of everyone. His identity had to remain secret. Andre said that everyone present would need their memories erased. Michael understood. He gave Stella one last kiss, Then Andre promised that he would return someday. After that, he erased everyone's memories, and everything went back to exactly how it had been before.